book unicorns, welcome to the start of the reading vlog. First up, purple pen, okay? And next stop, tabs and annotation key, okay? So I absolutely love annotating my books, especially science fiction fantasy books. And I have been so excited to read The Nightmare Virus, and I'm looking forward to sharing the reading experience with you in this vlog. So I want to share how I annotate my books. Specifically, I annotate science fiction and fantasy a lot more detailed than I do thriller or mystery or even YA. And so I do want to kind of share my thought process with that. And so as you'll see, I definitely like to match my tabs to the cover of the book as best I can. And of course, the purple tab is always reserved for beautiful prose and writing, because I just absolutely love how authors write their books and when they say beautiful things. And so as you'll see, I definitely have the main color as the main character color, and then magic system, world building. And since this is a Christian fantasy sci-fi book, I definitely want to annotate things I think are faith aspects or allegorical aspects as well. And if there could be like a relationship dynamic, I annotate that as well. So just some ideas about how I do that. I was chatting with M at M's Books Are Everywhere in the comments about how I annotate, and it was a very inspiring conversation. So hopefully moving forward, I'll share more. I hope you enjoy the vlog and all the thoughts as I explore the world of The Nightmare Virus. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. What is happening? Okay. So I've only read I'm on page 32 of this book. I gotta take the desk jacket off because I'm gonna need some space. Hold on, let me annotate this real quick, because let me read the synopsis for y'all just a little bit so you kind of have an idea of what's going on, but I don't want to spoil myself either, okay? Some viruses go after the body, but the nightmare virus goes after the mind. When dream technology goes wrong, a virus spreads across the globe, trapping people in a universal dreamscape.
They call it the nightmare virus. Kane Cross is determined to find a cure if he can decipher his brother's chicken scratch formula notes. But when he gets infected, he has only 22 days until he's trapped in the mental prison forever. That's all we need to know. So I'm on page 32, and I don't really know what's going on. Like, the intensity in this is just top tier. Our first impressions immediately are that it's definitely giving sci-fi nerd. Like, it's giving sci-fi thriller, and I like that. Like, it's giving tech thriller. It's giving alternate reality. It's giving sci-fi. And that is very surprising because I wasn't anticipating it being more of a sci-fi lean in it. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be fantastical. Great. We're here for it. So again, I'm having a good time, and something just happened, and I'm like, well, what's gonna happen to him? Well, then it's safe. Like, you're meeting characters, and child, just don't get attached to nobody. Just let Nadine do what Nadine gonna do. Okay. But I'm having a good time with it. What's true, what's not. Is he asleep? Is he awake? Giving a little sprinkle of the Matrix too. So when she did her dedication, and to my fellow nerds, we know which fandom wins in the end. This is definitely giving nerdy. This is giving very nerdy, and I'm here for it. I like the fact that we're following a male point of view, and that's so refreshing. Already, he is very brave. He's definitely blighted with trauma. Introduced to those things in the beginning of the book. There's a lot that he goes through, but he's not the only one that's dealing with things either. So I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. I love when a book can do that. You just dropped in and you just like, come on an adventure, let's find out. But my goodness, what a ride.
Hey, I've read, since my last update, I've got quite a bit done. I've read quite a bit. I'm on chapter 37. So I have some thoughts. So this book is very interesting. It's very unique. Initially, I thought this was set in like a fantastical world, but it's actually set in a dystopian near future in our world, and I really like how unique this is. I have to say, I really don't understand what's happening. Like, the world itself and like the different factions that we're following, you know, because we're following our main character, Kane. He is very much struggling with his faith. He is a character who is very flawed and who makes terrible choices. Like, he's a murderer. I mean, there is some symbology towards his name. He doesn't want to be, but based on his decisions, he ends up being that way. He's very conflicted. He is kind of giving a child of wrath. Like, he has a lot of wrath and a lot of pain. He's gone through a lot of traumatic things in his life, but yet there is a call to the Lord that he feels in the midst of this dystopian world, in the midst of people dying from this virus. And what is death and what is life? That's something that is very heavily explored here. And I really like that the faith in this is very upfront. There's a lot of moving parts to this. And I have to admit, I was a little confused. Term list or like a character list would have been, or like science fiction terms or something would have been great. So most of my annotations are like, ooh, what does that mean? But I just, I kept nodding and saying, okay, Nadine, I trust you, girl. We're gonna go the whole way with this. So this is definitely for the nerds. Like, when she said this is for the nerds, this is for the nerds. And I'm here for it. I'm having a good time. I'm really curious to see where it's going to end. I have about 15% left, and I'm really curious to see where it's going to end. I think Dungeons and Dragons meets like the gladiator. There's not really like a love subplot. I really like that. That's kind of refreshing because Wishtress did have a romantic subplot to it. Fox had a romantic subplot to it. This doesn't. There is like a female character, but it's more of like a friendship thing. Like I can't even say like it's even any kind of romance at all. I think he's drawn to this woman because of what she represents in the faith, because of her hope, because of her bravery. I think he admires her. I don't necessarily think it's like a love thing, but I think that he admires the light of Jesus in her and what she represents and what she's a part of. Right now, I think it's definitely sitting at a 4-star for me at this point. Have to be a whole lot to kind of take it to the 5-star. I'm having a good time, so I'll let you know what I think at the end. Unicorns, welcome to the end of the vlog. Before I share my final thoughts, also, the book was better. Lexi has an Etsy shop. She also has a YouTube channel, so I have been in her Etsy shop really hard. So I got a couple of her shirts, including this one, and a really cute mug. So if you want any of the bookish things to go with your bookish lifestyle, go check out Lexi's channel. Not sponsored at all. I just love Lexi and I love what she's doing on her channel and in her Etsy store. So go check it out. So I really enjoyed this book. Wowzer, wowzer, wowzer. Really didn't think this book was gonna go to a 5-star level. The last quarter of the book was a pearl in my opinion. And what really shined through the most in this book was the fact that the faith and the redemptive power of Jesus Christ was absolutely evident on page. Faith is not allegorical, and I love that. That was super refreshing to read on page. I love reading them. I really like seeing how an author can, create a fantastical world and put in the Christian elements and the Christ figure and the Godhead in a story, right? And even biblical characters. I just really enjoy that. But also it's refreshing to read a book that just gets straight to the point. Jesus Christ is king and it's his redemptive work. I really, really appreciate it. And that's really what took it over to the 5-star level. Cain's character arc was so wild. So fully realized, even down to the end. This book is really for the nerds. This book is really not for everyone. So I'm gonna have to put a little caveat in here. I gave this 5 stars because I'm such a nerd and I'm a sci-fi nerd. And this is definitely a sci-fi book. There's no romance in this. There's no romantic tension or anything like that. There's not a romantic subplot in this at all. And I like that. I really like that. I like that we're following a male main character. I really liked Cain as a main character. He definitely was a child of wrath, full of anger and vengeance, was incredibly selfish in his decisions. Definitely isn't for everyone. I could see that some readers might find it a bit too nuanced and maybe too, in the sense that it's not really a 1-to-1 ratio of what you're reading. I will say though, some of the things that I did read in it, I was like, I don't know what's happening. The world is confusing me, even though it's our near dystopian world. Still, there are a lot of elements that were unclear. So that can add probably to someone who's not necessarily a sci-fi nerd would be a bit of an issue. Like, Nadine, thank you for doing this one for the nerds, because eating it up. You're into if you were into Dungeons and Dragons and like those RGP player games, this was it. It doesn't read like that, but it's the visualization of that and how this virtual reality can be manipulated to your advantage or to your disadvantage depending on what role you're playing. And it is just so good, although nuanced. So I really enjoyed this book. I can't say it's not probably for everyone. If you've read Wishtress, this is nothing like Wishtress at all. If Wishtress and Fox kind of were your standpoint of what you enjoy from Nadine, you might not enjoy this one as much, in my opinion. And I love those two books. I loved Wishtress. Y'all already know it was one of my favorite books in 2022. Fox was fantastic as well. But Nightmare Virus is something other than, if those things sound good to you,
definitely check this book out. But if not, then I just want to help you manage your expectations when going into this book, because it can definitely come depending on the type of reader you are and depending on what you look for in your books. It might hit you a little different, but that's okay, child. That's okay. I definitely exceeded my expectations in a way I wasn't expecting, and definitely a favorite for this year. I think Wishtress still is a little bit higher on my list for the books I've read by Nadine for me personally, but this is definitely amazing as well. Definitely can stand alongside Wishtress. So let me know if you've read The Nightmare Virus or if you've read any of Nadine Brandes' books and what your thoughts are below, because I still have quite a few books to read in her canon, so hopefully I can get to them this year, but we'll see. You gonna know when I know. How about that? I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and stay tuned to the channel. So many amazing things on deck. I've absolutely been enjoying reading my Christian science fiction fantasy books, and I just thank the Lord and that they're out here. I hope this video was insightful, fun, and joyful for you to watch. Certainly my prayer for you. Know I'm thinking of you. Know I'm praying for you. May the Lord bless and keep you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.